Brr, it's snowing in Arizona. Look at, I want to catch a snowflake on my tongue. Ah, ah, ah. I just can't seem to get them. Honestly, though, when I was growing up in Wisconsin, one of my favorite things to do was usually it was like Christmas Eve because we were coming back from church and that's when we were outside and it was nighttime and it was snowing. And where my grandparents lived, there were street lights in certain areas. And when you stood under the street light and you looked up as the snow came down out of the blackness, it was one of the most magical things ever. Beautiful memory, a beautiful emotion. So now that I'm feeling that emotion, I can continue to feel it. And what I'm talking to you about today, this is how it all ties in. Let's get rid of the snow because I do live in Arizona and it is beautiful out right now. The wind is blowing, it's cool, it's lovely. If only it would last. So, what I'm talking to you about, okay, my nose itches like crazy this morning. Allergies, the wind. Woo, as much as I love the wind, it's also blowing everything everywhere. So, yeah, everybody out here looks like all puffy eyed, like we've been crying all night. But it's just the beautiful wind. And back to emotions. One thing that I learned this weekend that I thought was very handy and a very powerful tool, and I'm going to share this with you because it's helped me a lot. It's about how long it takes for an emotion to pass through your body. An emotion can pass through your body in 90 seconds, and that's how long it should take on the high end. Some may be a little bit more fleeting, like, oh, you stub your toe, boom, you're over it, bam, 90 seconds. Why? Because you process it, you're out. You're like, that sucks. You have this emotion, and you let it go. Just boom, release it, let it get out. That's what they're for. They're supposed to like help you go through stuff, pardon my French, and like just then get it out of you. Just get it out of you. And when you hold it in, that's when you cause more disease. But if you're, I know you're probably thinking, oh, but I could be sad for like hours and hours or angry for days. Yes. And here's why. You have a story attached to that emotion. You have a memory. You have an attachment to that particular emotion. And once it's triggered, boom. Here's another thing that blew my mind when I first learned it. Once it's triggered, your sympathetic nervous system will run on that trigger for up to an hour before it completely gets out of your system and all the hormones go back into balance. So you have 90 seconds to process an emotion and let it go before it triggers your sympathetic nervous system for an hour, making you sad or angry or whatever for an hour. And then if you should happen to trip it again, boom, you got another hour. You're just keeping it going. And that's why does this matter, you say? Sympathetic nervous system? Who gives a hoot? Well, your sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight. So if you're constantly going in that fight or flight, like your body thinks it's got to get away or it's got to fight something off, it's going to, your hormones are going, your adrenaline is going, your digestion has stopped. That's dangerous. Why do you think you have all these digestive issues in today's day and age? We don't process our emotions. It's frowned on. Get them out. 90 seconds. 90 seconds versus 1 hour. Figure out your story. If you think that this is going on for a while, then figure out the story attached to it. Because maybe you really shouldn't be so pissed off for like an hour because somebody pulled in front of you at the gas station. What's the story behind that? Figure it out, let it go. 90 seconds versus an hour. And okay, let's have some Joanna Bubbles to end this one. Words of wisdom, let it go. 90 seconds. 90 seconds.